Hi, I am Emmanuel Gras, as director of Makala. It's a documentary that I shot in Congo, RDC. I'm also director of photography, so I worked several times on documentaries in Republic Democratic of Congo. And so it's when I was in this very specific region of Katanga. It's in the south of the country, and I discovered people who were making the kind of job that my film is talking about. It's a charcoal producers, and I was very impressed by the way they were doing that, and especially by it's villages, people from villages that they produce charcoal in their village and they bring it to the city on bikes. So, and they put a lot of bags on a very simple bicycle, and so during several kilometers they just push it on the road, very dangerous road because there are a lot of trucks, and so I was very impressed. I mean, there was a vision of that I kept with me when I came back to France, and I decided to imagine a film where I could film this work, and so I work on the concept, and after that, after a while, I wrote something because I got some information from friends who were living there. First of all, so I wrote a project, and that was a very basic project, very simple. That was I had the idea of following the making of charcoal from the beginning, when someone has to cut a tree, and to the moment where he sells his product. So I wanted to make a film about work, how it is, and his economy, the huge difference between the huge amount of efforts and the very small value, economical value of what it is. Because charcoal, it's very cheap, you know. And but my main idea was to make like a minimalist road movie. So I wanted to follow the guy from his village to the town, and because I knew that it was very impressive, and that there was like an adventure in it, because we are in Africa, and a lot of things can every day happen, and even small problems can be a huge one. So I knew that things would happen. So I imagined my film before knowing Kabwita. And after that, I went with a friend who is a Congolese journalist, and we went in different villages around the city of Kolwezi. So we went there discussing with people, getting some information. So how do you do your call and all that? And me, I was trying to find the guy I could follow, and so I met Kabwita like that. And directly I knew that he was special. He had something very strong and also very soft, and I mean, he had all my sympathy directly. And also he was, I mean, when you look for someone because you have the idea of filming him, you need to have this desire of filming someone. I mean, physically, because the way he looks, the way he acts, his attitude. So I liked it, and so I discussed with him, and because my project was very clear, it was about his work. It was not something like about his family life all around. So it was very clear. It was very easy to explain, and it was in a short period of time, also 1 month and a half. So I mean, I think it was very easy for him to understand what I was doing, and so he accepted it just like that. I mean, he said yes, and I came back 1 year later after the rainy season. I mean, it was very simple filming because we were just three of us. I was filming. I'm the guy behind the camera. I came with a friend, a sound engineer, and we worked with Gaston, who was a Congolese journalist. So we were three, and he was translator. A very small team with Kabwita, which is the hero of the film, the main character, and yes, I think that when you follow someone, when you spend every day during 1 month with someone, it's not a question of being invisible or letting things happen without you being there, because you are there and you create a relation and you are all together creating a film. So my main idea was that Kabwita is not someone I was filming, but someone who was participating to the shooting, to the filming. So we were discussing a lot, and for example, like what do I mean by not fly on the wall? It means that if after a discussion that I had with him, we had the idea of, yeah, that could be interesting for the film, I could propose him to film this. And for example, because I knew that it was important that the audience had the idea of what are his goal. I mean, we know that he wants to sell his charcoal, but not only that, but what does he want in life? So when we were in the village, we understood that he bought a part of land to build a new house, no, to build his own house. So I asked him to discuss about this to discuss that with his wife, So we plan to film this discussion. So when you have this kind of situation, it's it's his real life, but he knows that he's film. We plan together to have this discussion, so we create something because I think that's the best way to not only to film what is the truth, but what is the deepness of the truth. Because otherwise, if I was just a fly on the wall, maybe he would never have discussed. Not when I was there. So. When you want to get something in your film, when you want to get the life more intense, with more intensity, you need to act on it. So we spent 1 month and a half with Kabwita, and most of the time at the beginning we were alone. Maybe not alone, but most of the time with him. So with him and his family, we were just accepted. And so we created like a team between me, Emmanuel Vidal, the sound engineer, and Kabwita. So it means that when we walked away from the village on the road and to the city, the main idea was that the audience through me will be like a friend who is always with Kabwita. So I wanted that because I think that's the best way to make people feel an experience of life. So I don't know exactly how I did it, but for sure I was physically always very close to him. So that was my way. Like all the film is like having a friend and being with him and seeing all what he's going through. And me, I was not important. I didn't want to interact and that people talk with me, because I think I was not the subject, the subject of the film. Here, Kabwita was. So I just tried to get all the attention directly to Kabwita and like someone who is with him all the time. The film is about a life experience, so I wanted for the audience to get all the sensation of the nature, the sound of the city when he arrives in the city, and also what is physically important about the work. I mean that when he cut the tree, to have the sound, because to have to get the intensity of what it means to cut a tree and to push a bike. So we we had a kind of complex sound system for minimalist documentary, because Kabwita had always a microphone with him. There was a microphone on the back, and also there was a boom, you know. So, and after that, Emmanuel, the sound engineer, he took a lot of detail, of close-up, sound close-up, you know, of everything. I mean, really, I don't know how many sounds he took from the bike, from the steps, from the breathing, from the of the bike, of everything. So, and after that, we worked to get the better sounds we could. For sure, don't wait for the money, especially if you do documentary. You can do by your own. If you know how to deal with the camera, you have to do it by yourself. My first documentaries, I made two short films, but that allowed me to be visible in festivals, and I got known in festival by two films that I made just by myself and with the help of some friends for post-production and all that. But just do it. No, I don't want to say it like Nike, but just you have to go by yourself and try, and don't wait for the money too much. I mean, you can wait a little.